Hey everybody, so I'm just working out some, I'm streaming on a totally different type of thing right now, so figuring this out. Wait for a few people to get in here. Jeff's Diner, hello, thank you for joining us once again. Hey, how you doing? Thank you for joining the live stream. Getting a few people in here now. Yellow Submarine, hello. Thank you for joining us. So forgive me if it takes me a little bit here. I'm streaming for the first time on a desktop. I haven't usually I stream on the phone, so this is the first time I've streamed on the desktop, and I'm figuring out all the technology behind it. Frank M, how you doing? Thank you for being here. Maria Co, hello. What's going on? Hey. Yellow Submarine says, I was just watching your Beverly Hills Cop locations. Thank you so much for watching. Got a lot of new videos up. Hopefully you guys are having the chance to check them out. If you haven't seen, I just did Falling Down filming locations. Just posted those a couple of days ago. Done a lot of stuff this month. Teen Witch, La Bamba. I don't know, a few things. And I actually still have one more video to post. Hopefully, if everything goes well, tomorrow I'll be posting the Memories of the San Fernando Valley video for May. So, one more to go. Love the Karate Kid one. Falling Down was such an underrated movie. It's absolutely an underrated movie. It's funny, there's a video on YouTube, if you search up Falling Down, there's a video that says the best movie you've never seen. And I don't think it's that underrated. I think most people have seen it, at least most people my age. But yes, such a great movie. Frank M says he's been watching them all. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Oh, you're right. I also did the Blockbuster take a video, leave a video, and also did the video on the 80s newspapers. Just27 says, hello, by the way. Falling Down filming locations was great. Thank you so much. I was excited to do that one. Jeff's Diner says, Mac and Me is also an underrated movie. I agree. A silly movie, and, let's be honest, a bad movie, but one of those movies that's great because it's bad. And it is underrated. Jeff's Diner, do you think it's better than E.T.? I quote that movie way too much. Are you talking about Falling Down? If you are, so do I. But then again, I quote like millions of movies way too much. Sometimes I just speak in nothing but 80s and 90s movie quotes. Let's see. Little Baby Bubble Bubs Pinky Toe Show says, hey, new subscriber here. Love Gleaming the Cube. When you did when you did Tony Hawk star in the Pizza Hut truck, I almost died laughing. Thank you. Quick filming location suggestion, Real Genius. that one is absolutely on my list. I love that movie. So I don't know when, but it's coming. Thank you so much for all the videos. Enjoy the content and stories. I really appreciate that. Thank you for watching and subscribing. I appreciate it. Frank M says I liked Mac and Me. Yeah, Mac and Me is really funny and entertaining, but you know, it's silly, but it's funny. Dave from San Diego, how you doing? Thank you for being here. Good to see the burger place in Falling Down is still there. Yeah, and looks almost exactly the same. That's one of the best parts. And it's really cool that they have the poster up and a little plaque. Somebody, I haven't responded to the comments. Somebody commented today saying, why was the owner weird about you filming in there if he's got the poster up? He must be proud that they filmed the movie. And I think the only reason that the owner was weird about me filming in there, because he did eventually let me do it. I think he just didn't want me to bother his customers. He said, don't film the customers. I think he wanted his customers to feel comfortable and not feel like they were, being filmed. Somebody was watching them. So I totally understand that. I think that was really cool. I think that's really cool of him as a business owner to want his customers to feel comfortable. So Jeff Steiner says Mac and Me is way better than E.T. Personally, I won't say if it was better or not, but I like Mac and Me better than E.T. E.T. is obviously a classic, it's a classic 80s movie, but I'm personally entertained more by Mac and Me. But that's just me. Who remembers the arcade skateboarding game 720? I do. I have it on Nintendo, and I remember playing it in the arcade. Such a great game. Skater Die's better, but 720 is awesome. Just found your channel last weekend, and I love it. Thank you. I'm so glad that you found it. I'm glad that you're enjoying it. Maybe you could do filming locations for Dennis the Menace. I assume you're talking about the movie. I've never thought about that, but I'll keep it in mind. Took a small road trip, so I was able to listen to you on the OLP podcast. Awesome. Thank you. That was a fun thing to do. That was my first time being interviewed for a podcast. That was fun. Do you like Point Break movie, Kurt? Absolutely. Love Point Break. It's up there with probably not top 10, but definitely up there as one of my favorite movies. A while back here in LA, they had Point Break Live, which was an experience. You would go. It was like a kind of a low budget play where they acted out the movie and like incorporated comedy. It was really great. I went to that a few times. They live filming locations would be great, and I will be doing the filming locations for They Live at some point. Thank you for the outstanding work you do. It brings me back in time. That comments like that is what really keeps me going. Every once in a while, obviously I do this for fun. Sometimes it gets a little stressful, but then when I read comments like that, that just totally pushes me to go. The fact that a lot of you watch my videos and it kind of transports you back to your childhood or just, back to better days. That's awesome. So yeah, thank you so much. See, Vinyl says my childhood friend was in Mac and Me. I think did you leave a comment about that? I think I remember. Mr. Buttermaker, how you doing? Thanks for joining us. They are screening Rad at the Valley Relics Museum on the 25th. You should go. That's awesome. I didn't know that they were doing that. Maybe I will go. Have you done filming locations for summer school? Not yet, but definitely will. That's another one of my favorites. Okay, so really quick, I'm gonna stop reading comments for just a second to make my quick announcement. It's not a huge deal or anything, but so if I don't respond to if I miss your comments, maybe if it's a question, ask me again in a few minutes because I'm not going to be reading for a couple of minutes here. But so June 7th is Prince's birthday. And some of you probably already know from my videos, I'm a huge, huge Prince fan. And every year on his birthday, me and some of my friends, we always do something for his birthday. Usually we make it an entire weekend celebration, like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We do different things every year, but we always celebrate. We weren't able to do anything last year. We're not going to be able to do anything this year. But I've decided to do something here on the channel. I'm going to do a live stream for anybody that's interested. I'm going to be doing a all Prince DJ set, doing all 80s and 90s Prince, probably just for like an hour. So on June 7th, and I didn't even really think about this, but we'll just say same time. It's a Monday, so that's kind of I know a lot of people have work, and it's not a very It's not a party night, but let's say 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock, I'll go live. I won't be chatting or really answering questions because I'll be DJing. But so I'll do probably somewhere around an hour of all 80s and 90s Prince to celebrate his birthday. So yeah, June 7th. I think that's next Monday, a week from tomorrow, 7 p.m. So if you guys are interested, hopefully some of you will come stop by. I wonder if the movie Born in East LA with Cheech has any filming locations. That's a, It's really funny that you say that. Stay tuned. That vintage Pee Wee shirt is epic. Thank you so much. I'll kind of, I don't know if you're able to see it better now, but it's not that vintage. It's just, it's a reprint that I got a few years ago. But yeah, I love this shirt. That's why I'm hooked on your channel. It brings back so many memories and nostalgia. Thank you. I really love hearing that. Born in Granada Hills and raised in Panorama City. 80s Valley kid for life. Awesome. Born in West Hills, raised mostly in Reseda. Tommy Sand says, I really don't have a lot of love for E.T. Yeah, I don't, like I said, it's a classic. It's an 80s classic, but I don't like it as much as a lot of other people do. I'll just say that. Oh, Bill Allen, who played Crew Jones, will be there. I assume you're talking about the screening at Valley Relics. I've met Bill Allen, had a long conversation with him about Rad. Super, super nice guy. And I'm hoping, I'd like to do some kind of a chat with him for the channel sometime in the future. So That background that you have reminds me of the 80s video show with Richard Blade on K-Rock as host. Yeah, and I think this was the, this is like the classic Glamour Shots background too. Oh wait, that reminds me. Hold on one second. I'm just learning this, how to stream with green screen. So I had plans to do things and forgot to do them, but I meant to throw this in here when I was talking about my Prince live stream. That's okay. It's in there now. C Vinyl says, I worked with Prince and Sheila E. Wow, what did you do for Prince and Sheila E? I'd love to hear. Everybody who either has met Prince or even just seen Prince in concert, is any type of a Prince fan, has awesome Prince stories. And I'm actually thinking about doing a little series on my channel telling Prince stories. It's me and, you know, talking to some of my Prince fan friends, because there's so many amazing Prince stories. Hi from Sydney, Australia. Hello, thank you for being here. See, Vinyl says, if you need any vinyl, I sell records. You get the 80s Life discount. That's awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah, I've got a ton of vinyl because, yeah, being a DJ, but there's still some stuff that I'm always looking for. Get some Atari on this channel already. Coming out with any t-shirts, for example, with your Suzuki on it, or any other 80s themes. So, yeah, a few people recently have asked me if I'm going to do t-shirts, and I'm actually thinking about it. And thank you for reminding me. I wanted to show you guys. I just got, they actually just came in the mail yesterday. I got some stickers made of the logo, and I don't know, you know, I'm going to use these to kind of advertise the channel. At some point, I'm going to figure out a way to distribute these to some of you that might want them. I just don't know how I'm going to do that yet, but eventually, I'll, you know, for those of you that would like a sticker, I'll figure out a way to get these to you. And then also, there's a company, I didn't personally make it, but there's a company called Mini Truck Revival. If you go on Instagram and you just look up that company, Mini Truck Revival, they actually made a sticker and a button of my Suzuki Samurai. Like I said, I didn't have anything to do with it except for giving them the okay. So I don't make any money off of that product or anything, but if you want a button and a sticker of my Suzuki Samurai, I don't think they're sold out. I think they still have them available. So yeah, you can go look up that company. And then as far as t-shirts for my channel, yeah, I probably will in the near future. Nate Hall, how you doing? Loved the Falling Down Locations video. One of my favorite underrated movies. Thank you so much. Wow, Tommy Sands, thank you so much for the super chat. Very, very, very generous of you. Less than 0 filming locations would be super cool. Have been waiting many years for the Blu-ray. Okay, you know what? On the list. I will start looking into it for you. You deserve it because of that awesome super chat, so thank you. I love 80s slasher films. How about you? Yeah, I'm probably not as much into horror and slasher films as like cheesy 80s comedies, but of course, I have I love most any 80s film. Well, no, I shouldn't say that. Oh, thank you so much for the super chat. What about a Midnight Madness filming location? That would be a really great one to do. I haven't seen that movie in a long time. Um, so I'm going to think about that one. Frank M says he'd take a sticker for sure. Cool. Like I said, I just got them in the mail yesterday, so I didn't put any thought into how I'm going to go about getting these to people that might want them, but I'll figure it out soon, and then I'll let you all know. If you get patches made and I can get a few, I'll have my BMX club members wear them on their vests. That would be awesome. C Vinyl says, I was a stage manager for Prince and Sheila E. I also got to DJ for him and Larry Graham. Wow, that's really cool. You don't have to go into all of it right now, but you've got to have some stories, right? Like I said, anybody that's had any contact with Prince has really awesome Prince stories. Do you like any movies from the 80s? Home Alone, Back to the Future, or Home Alone 2? I like all those movies. Back to the Future is in my top 5. And I'm not really big on Christmas movies. There's only a few Christmas movies that I like, and Home Alone is one of the few movies that's considered a Christmas movie that I like. I didn't know Teen Witch was filmed where the Thriller House is. Very cool. Yeah, it's one of those things that you probably don't think about it when you watch the movie, but then once you look at the comparisons, I mean, it looks exactly the same. '80s Valley Kid here. I left the area in 1997, bringing back lots of memories. That's awesome. I'm so glad that I can take you back to the times of living in the Valley. Thank you for watching. I left the Valley in 2006, maybe? I can't donate, don't have money, but I'll give you a like on the stream. That's okay. I don't expect anybody to donate, so don't think twice about it. I put this little thing down here with my PayPal and Patreon, and the only reason I did that is because a lot of people ask me, how can I donate? But it blows my mind whenever anybody sends me a super chat or a donation or supports me on Patreon. I don't expect it from anybody. I was going to say I just expect you guys to watch my videos, but I actually don't even expect that. I just appreciate how much you guys watch my videos and support me by doing that. And then the fact that you guys choose to, support me with donations is amazing. So I don't ever expect it. So don't ever feel obligated or, just don't think twice about it. Slap a sticker on one of the free Blockbuster boxes. I already thought about that, and actually, now that you said that, maybe I'll leave some there too. I'll leave a small stack. Your mom is calling me, says, I love your videos. Thank you so much. Kurt, my country doesn't allow chat donations, but I'll throw down for your cause in some other way. Like I said, no worries. Were you an Atari or an NES kid? Both. Had Atari first, and then got NES. Once we got the NES, yeah, I don't even know what happened to the Atari. But when we had Atari before NES, I loved it. I know my favorite game to play was Pitfall. And Frogger. Sorry, actually, probably like Frogger more than Pitfall. The best Christmas movie is Die Hard, and that is the famous argument on the famous online argument whether or not Die Hard's a Christmas movie or not. How about filming locations for Once Bitten? Definitely on the list. One of my favorite vampire movies. Jeff's Diner says, actually, the best Christmas movie is Ernest Saves Christmas. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, that would be my favorite Christmas movie. Just because Vacation, the original Vacation, is my favorite movie of all time. So I kind of have to, by default, like all the Vacation movies, no matter how bad they are. And, you know, I'm definitely speaking about Vegas Vacation. I think a close second for my favorite Christmas movies would be Scrooged with Bill Murray. Where did you get your Christmas trees as a kid? I have no idea. Christmas tree lot by our house. Another super chat. Thank you so much. What else would be really cool would be a They Live filming location. 100%. You can count on that one. Do you remember Ozone? Are you speaking of Ozone from Breakin'? If so, of course, rest in peace. He just passed away really recently. Or maybe you're not talking about Ozone from Breakin'. Can we please have a moment of silence for Northridge Skateland? Yes, very sad. I talked about that in one of my Valley videos. Northridge Skateland closed down at the start of the pandemic. They planned on opening back up, and they just weren't able to do it. They closed the doors, and it's going to become a homeless shelter, which is awesome. I'm glad that it's becoming something that, you know, is needed, but it's sad. I know a lot of us have a lot of memories from Northridge Skateland. I know I do. Used to go there a lot when my wife and I were dating. Lethal Weapon is also a holiday movie. Yeah, that's one just like Die Hard. Do you have any old home movies of you as a kid at Universal Studios? Man, I can't tell you how much I wish I did. I've only went to Universal Studios once as a kid. I was probably, if I had to guess, like 6 years old, and I don't have a lot of memories of it. Just a few memories, but that was before we got a video camera, so there's no video of it. The memories that I do have of it are awesome. I remember going on the tram and seeing was it the Buck Rogers? Is that what it was? Where you would go into the big spaceship and the robots were shooting at you. My favorite memory of going to Universal Studios as a kid was the A-Team stunt show. where Waterworld now is. It was A-Team and then Miami Vice and then now Waterworld. Going to the A-Team stunt show, and then as you were walking out, I think it was the actor that played Murdoch was standing there handing blank bullet casings to all the kids as they walked out. Definitely something that you could not do nowadays. But yeah, I wish I had video from Universal Studios. You can find, if you search YouTube, there's a few cool videos of Universal Studios in the 80s. Scrooged is up there, definitely. Kurt, do you remember the concrete sailboat in front of the house in Reseda on Van Noen? That's not ringing a bell. Do you know if it's still there? And do you remember Van Noen and what? Now you've got me thinking. I'm going to look into this. Have you seen Secret Admirer? Love that movie. Would you do a location video on that? Yes, I have, and yes, I probably will. What about Heat? I think you said you'll branch out to do 90s films. Yeah, I'm already doing 90s movies. Just did Falling Down, that's 90s. I've done a few 90s movies, House Party, Falling Down, Boys in the Hood. So yeah, I'll definitely do 90s movies. I don't like to get too late into the 90s, but like 95 and before, I'll still do stuff after 95, but anything in the 90s I'm cool with. Heat, it's a possibility. I wouldn't say it's anything that I would plan on doing in the very near future, though. What's your favorite underwater thriller? The Abyss, Deep. I don't think I have one. Yeah, I don't know. Didn't really get into that movie. It's not saying they're not good, but would love to see Night of the Comet locations. A couple people have brought that up to me. I think that would be a great one to do. So that's on the list as well. Here's another. C Vinyl also says do the movie Heat. I'm getting a lot of requests for Heat. So. Okay, Club Ozone on Tampa. All right, so you weren't talking about Ozone from Break-In. Sorry, I hear Ozone and my mind automatically goes to breakdancing. No, I don't remember Club Ozone. The season 2 Chips episode with Ponch and John skating at the skate park. One of my favorite episodes. I don't know if you saw in my Valley video, I showed where that skate park was and I mentioned it. That was right around the corner from where I grew up. Gremlins was a good Christmas movie. Yeah, okay, you know what? If we're going to consider Die Hard and Lethal Weapon, I think Gremlins is more a Christmas movie, so that one also would be up there with my favorite Christmas movies. Friday After Next, best Christmas movie. Man, I got you guys on a Christmas movie kick, and it's Memorial Day weekend, and we're talking about Christmas movies. Yes, thank you. I knew Buck Rogers wasn't right. Battlestar Galactica. I knew when it came out of my mouth, I knew it wasn't right, but I couldn't think of what it was. That is my favorite memory from the tour, and luckily there's video on YouTube of that. But yeah, I remember how cool that was. My other 2 memories of going to Universal Studios as a kid was one, seeing they had the Kit car, where you could line up and you could sit inside Kit and talk to Kit, and it was on like a little dock at a lake. And I remember being on the other side of the lake, like leaning up against the railing, watching all the kids sit inside Kit, and I wanted to talk to him so bad, and I asked my dad, can I please go wait in line to talk to Kit? And my dad said, no, the line's too long. Come on. And then the other thing was the A-Team van, where you got to go and lift up the A-Team van. And I remember asking my dad, can I please go lift up the A-Team van? And he said, no, the line's too long. Let's go. So the funny thing about that is there wasn't really anything to do at Universal Studios back then. There wasn't any rides. So you did the tram. You went to, there was the Wild West stunt show and the A-Team stunt show. And then those couple of things I mentioned, but he didn't want to wait in line. I must have got that from him because I hate waiting in line too. Did you used to have He-Man and Masters of the Universe action figures? Definitely did. Still have some. And that reminds me, it might have been you. On the last live stream, someone asked me about He-Man action figures, and I read it wrong, and I read it as Herman action figures, and I started showing some Pee Wee Herman action figures. But yeah, I loved He-Man, was one of my favorite cartoons, so I had quite a few He-Man action figures, and I still have some. My son has a bunch of original He-Man action figures that we bought for him, and I haven't bought more for myself because I keep waiting for him to outgrow his toys and give me all of those He-Man action figures that we bought for him. But he keeps saying it's not going to happen. I think I'm going to break down soon and just buy some figures for myself. I was picked to do the $6 Million Man show at Universal back in the 70s. That's so awesome. I was watching Class Act when your stream started. Awesome. I love that movie. That's an underrated movie. Everybody knows House Party, but not a lot of people know Class Act. Love your channel, bro. Did you ever play at D Piazza's in Long Beach? Saw TSOL there a bunch of times. I haven't played there. I've gotten close. I've been to a couple of shows there. I saw Lance Mountain's band play there. And if any of you know this, Johnny Rad from The Search for Animal Chin. And I've gotten close to playing shows there, but never have. Yo, happy Memorial Day weekend. Same to you. Thank you for joining us. Gremlins would be great. If you're talking about a filming location, it would. However, that's not an easy one to do. I think all of it was shot on Universal backlot and the Warner Brothers backlot. Universal Studios was awesome back in the day. I remember ditching school to go there. When Back to the Future, the ride opened, made it onto the news when we walked off the ride. That's awesome. I really missed that ride so much. And I'm a huge Simpsons fan. So I was so excited when I found out that they were going to do a Simpsons ride. But then when I found out that they were replacing Back to the Future, I was heartbroken. So Universal had so much great stuff. Beetlejuice. I'm talking about, at the park, they had the Beetlejuice show and a Ghostbusters show and the Back to the Future ride and the E.T. ride, and they just ruined it all. Got rid of it to replace it with screen rides, just rides that use screens. Such a bummer. Did you do break-in locations? Not yet, but very, very soon. I almost got started with those a couple of times, and then I kept putting a hold on it because there was a few things that I wanted to wanted to make sure I was going to be able to make the videos as good as I'd like them to be, because I want to do those justice. Let me ask you all a question. What do you like? What do you guys like most about my channel? What's your favorite things? Do you guys like the filming locations the most? Do you like the memories of the San Fernando Valley videos the most? Do you like just the random stuff? What do you all want to see more of? Not that I'm planning on stopping doing. I'm still planning on doing all the same stuff, but I'm just curious. How about Inner Space? That would be a fun one to do. Not sure where that was filmed. I have to look into it. Did you have a Swatch watch back in the 80s? I did. And there's actually video of me receiving it on YouTube. I'm pretty sure I posted a video of Christmas. I think it was Christmas 1988. And then when I go, we go over to my grandma's house and open my gift, and it was a Swatch watch. It wasn't one of the coolest ones, but it was still a Swatch watch. So. What's your favorite Rocky movie? I'm not huge on the Rocky movies, but definitely Rocky 4. Again, not saying that I don't like them, but not huge on them. But Rocky 4 is definitely the best. But then again, Hulk Hogan and Mr. T. I wish they were in Rocky 4. That would make it the perfect Rocky movie. My friend used to work as Harry from Harry and the Hendersons at Universal Studios. That's awesome. I really miss all the characters that they used to have walking around. I mean, they still have some, but not as cool. Jeff Tobe says locations, filming locations. Biggest Wonderland says filming locations. All of it. Locations, the trivia, the locations, all of your videos. My favorite is the filming locations, but all of your, but love your content. Been binge watching. Thank you so much for that. It always trips me out when people say they've been binge watching my videos. I never thought of myself as, someone would binge watch me. Okay, so. Locations. So it seems like most of you like the filming location videos. Definitely the locations and the nostalgia that comes with it. Is there any videos I've done that you guys didn't like, that you just didn't like, it was kind of a miss? Again, just curious. Hi Kurt, greetings from New York City. If you could only choose one song from the 80s, which 80s pop rock song do you think best represents the decade? Wow. That is the best and worst question ever. I say worst question because that is such a hard question to answer. There's no way I could answer it. Which 80s song best represents the decade? I mean, there's just no way, because there's so... Yeah. No, I can't answer it. I'm sorry. I like your memories of San Fernando Valley because we went to many of the same places growing up. Definitely the locations and the nostalgia that comes with it. I like the Valley stuff, and I personally like 80s video game music video stuff. That's my 2 cents. Yeah, I haven't really done any video game stuff, so it would be cool to to do some video game stuff. Did you have Nintendo NES back in the 80s? What were your favorite games? I did. I still do. Still have my original one and a lot of my original games. We had so many games, and about half of them I lent to a friend in the early 2000s. He went out and bought himself an old NES, and I lent him a whole bunch of games. He was moving. Instead of giving me back my games, he put them in storage with a bunch of his other stuff, and then his storage unit got broken into, and they stole all of the games that he borrowed from me. And then instead of offering to try and like get me new games or anything, he was just like, "Hey, your games got stolen. Sorry." So I lost so many games. My favorite, I don't know what my favorite game was. Some of my favorite games were Skate or Die, the TNC Surf game, Ghosts and Goblins, Metroid, Super Mario Brothers, Double Dragon. Did you ever get into watching Wally George? Yeah, I did. And I saw him once just before he passed away. I saw him walking around Disneyland on New Year's Eve. I'm an man. I don't know why I can't talk right now. I am an arcade game collector. That's awesome. Like you have a whole bunch of full-size arcade games. The filming locations are cool, but more random. Do you guys remember this from the 80s type stuff? Excite Bike. Yeah, that actually was one of my favorite games and still is one of my favorite games. Hey Kurt, which actress do you prefer, Heather Thomas or Heather Locklear? Don't have a preference. Ghosts and Goblins used to piss me off so bad. Yeah, it still does piss me off so incredibly hard. Living in the LA area in the 80s, were there any scary moments like living through the crack epidemic or the Night Stalker? I think so. I think a lot of it I probably didn't realize how scary it was because I was young. I mean, gangs were really bad in the 80s in Los Angeles, so a lot of people might not realize just how bad they were. Yep, full-size legit arcade games. That's awesome. I'd love to see pictures of what you have. Yes, Contra. Loved that game. I keep thinking your hat says Pringle. No, Prince. I used to play Ghosts and Goblins at Dale's Jr. in Northridge. I think one of my favorite things about doing these live streams, let me move this light over here. I noticed I'm kind of dark. When I first started doing these live streams, I was so worried about trying to respond to all of your questions, but I started noticing that it's really cool that all of you just start chatting with each other and sharing your memories. So it's awesome that you know, giving you guys a place here just to chat with each other. And just so you guys know, I'm going to wrap this up in probably about 5 minutes. How much were the McDonald's combos in the 80s? I don't remember. I was a kid. Way less than what they are now. $3.99 probably. I mean, I think Happy Meals were 99 cents if I remember correctly. In the late 90s, they had Filet-O-Fish Friday. They still have Filet-O-Fish Friday, but I think it's like $2 now. It was $1 back then, and that's what it should be. I have no memories of the 80s. I was born in the mid 90s and consider myself a 2000s kid, but I love your channel. That's so awesome. I think it's so great that you're getting into something that like you don't even know anything about it. So I love that. Thank you for watching and for appreciating all of that stuff. $3 to $5 combos. Yeah, so like I said, $3.99. That sounded about right to me. So really quick, like I said, I'm gonna wrap it up soon. So really quick, for anybody that might not have been here in the beginning, wanted to show you guys the stickers that I got. Just got these yesterday. The channel logo, and I don't know how I'm gonna distribute these to any of my subscribers that want them, but I'll figure it out soon and get you guys some stickers. And really quick, for anybody that might not have been here in the beginning, I'm going to make my announcement one more time. Next Monday, a week from tomorrow, June 7th, 7 p.m., I'm going to be doing another live stream for Prince's birthday. I'm going to be doing a DJ set right here, YouTube Live, all 80s and 90s Prince. So, yeah, hopefully some of you will tune in for that next Monday, June 7th, 7 p.m. I'm excited for the Fast Times filming locations. Yeah, me too. If you're a 2000s kid, Kurt's channel is a good way to learn a lot about 80s nostalgia. Thank you. When I started doing this, I never would have thought that, you know, my channel would be educational. 80s have had a permanent effect on culture and society, absolutely. Do a Valley Relics tour and interview Tommy and ask him about doing shirts for you. That's not a bad idea. Howard the Duck. That movie gets a bad rap. I still can't convince my wife that that's a good movie. Were you into breakdancing or graffiti in the 80s? Yeah, definitely. I thought I was a breakdancer. I'm sure I was really terrible at it, but was obsessed with it like a lot of kids were in the 80s. And, graffiti, used to draw it in my room, thinking I was a graffiti artist drawing it on paper. Howard the Duck, what a flop. Come on, it's great. Looking forward to the Prince DJ set. Awesome. Thank you. Watched License to Drive for the first time today and then watched your location video for it. Awesome. I can't believe you just saw it for the first time. What'd you think? That's in my top 5 favorite movies. Well, thanks for streaming. You're welcome. Thank you for being here. What was your favorite car when growing up in the 80s? I don't know. I was so young I didn't think about cars, but I always thought like mini trucks and lowriders were cool. Kurt's got the look like he would be a member of the Beastie Boys. You'll definitely spin Kiss by Prince. That track is banging. I'm going to spin it just for you. What posters, that's a good question. What posters did you have on your wall as a kid growing up in the 80s? I know for sure I had a big Mr. T poster, Mr. T standing in front of a brick wall, and a couple different Michael Jackson posters. And then a little bit later on, my brother and I started reading Word Up magazine, and we would take, they always had like the centerfolds and, different stuff, Big Daddy Kane and Salt and Pepper and Dougie Fresh. So we would take those out and hang them up all over our room. I know I definitely had the classic swap meet posters of cars. I think I had one of a Porsche and maybe a Ferrari. I'm sure I had other awesome stuff. I just can't remember. Hawk or Hosoi? That's another great question because that was the huge rivalry. Yeah, I never really chose back in the day. I loved both. I had a Hawk board. I never got the Hosoi board, but I really loved Hosoi. So I think they're really different. Hosoi was so great at just going really high, and Hawk was so good at technical tricks. So I think they're really great in their own way. I want your 80s life sticker on my mini truck. Awesome, and I want it to be there. So I'm going to figure out a way to get it to whoever wants one. I had an Alyssa Milano poster. Awesome. Prince, the Black Album, one of the best albums to never officially come out. Okay, so with that, I'm going to end it. Thank you all so much. Thank you all so much for joining me tonight. Thanks for another awesome chat. Hopefully you guys can join me next Monday, June 7th, 7 p.m. for the Prince DJ set. And we'll do this again soon. So thank you guys again, and I'll see you real soon. Oh, and like I said, hopefully tomorrow the Memories of the San Fernando Valley video for May will drop, and then another filming location video really soon after that. Been working on a new filming location video all weekend. going out filming some spots. So it'll be up soon. Just seeing if there's any quick questions. Everyone just saying it was fun. Thank you. Goodbye. Lee D says, no, you be there. I definitely get that that's a Thrashin' quote. Okay. See you, everybody. Bye.